Football world, what's up? I am Jerry Azuma, along with Sam Brief, who's actually not with me right now. He's in Kansas City right now with the Chicago Dogs. Hopefully he brings back a championship. But thank you for joining us on To The Points podcast, where we'll break down primetime NFL matchups and give you some bets that we like. All right, guys, Thursday Night Football is here. The Giants visit the 49ers, and currently the spread has the 49ers at a 10.5 point favorite. Now, the Giants, they're coming off a very impressive comeback win against the Cardinals. And to beat this 49ers team, they can't afford themselves to be into a big hole like they were the last game. Now, the Giants offensively, they'll be without their most powerful weapon with Saquon Barkley out with an ankle injury. So this might be devastating, but that means Daniel Jones, he will have to have a perfect game to be competitive this Thursday. And look for Jones to connect with his tight end Waller on some rhythm throws. I also anticipate some run plays by Jones to utilize his athletic ability and loosen up that defense a little bit. Now, when you look at the San Fran's roster, they have talent all over the place, especially defensively. They are the best of the business at every single level. And they're very disruptive, starting up front with Bosa leading the way. And their linebackers are super aggressive, and they run downhill, and they make a lot of plays. Now, this most certainly spells trouble for the Giants' offensive line, who's makeshift already due to injuries. Now, the Giants, there's a stat that really caught my eye. In the first halves of their games, they've been outscored 46-0. So to have a chance, they cannot afford to get down into the hole, or else this game will be over quickly. Now, the 49ers, their offense has playmakers all over the place that could break this game wide open. We know who they are, so I will spare you this list. Now, it's going to be up for the Giants defensive coordinator, Wink Martindale, to come up with some schemes to slow this explosive offense down. He already is a fan of blitzing, so I expect him to dial it up even more for this game. It's going to be a big challenge for the Giants team to go into San Fran and beat one of the best teams in football. Now, let's get right to the points. The Giants, man, they're in a tough spot right now. No Saquon Barkley, and weakness with their offensive line spells disaster to me. Now, the spread has the 49ers at a 10.5 point favorite, and I see them covering this easy right here. And put some change on Deebo Samuel's over 55.5 receiving yards. And Christian McCaffrey, I have him over 81.5 rushing yards, so put some change on that. And also, Christian McCaffrey, he's my fantasy football start of the week. If you have him on your team, start him. And also, Christian McCaffrey has a touchdown in 11 straight games, including regular season and playoff games. So with the touchdown versus the Giants, he will match Jerry Rice for the longest streak in 49ers history. So put some change on him scoring an anytime touchdown. The Bears. They travel to Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs, and currently the beloved are a 12.5 point underdog. Now, it's safe to say that we had big expectations for this Bears team, and they haven't really been hitting on anything positive as of late. So this team has problems all over the place. Offensively, we know that nothing is going on over there. Fields and the coaching staff, they're not gelling. And Braxton this week just went on IR. He's a starting left tackle. He's going to be out with a neck injury. And there's a lot of blame to go around on that side of the football. So we won't even talk about that. Now, let's just focus a little bit on the Bears defense. First and foremost, this week, Alan Williams, the defensive coordinator, has resigned from the Chicago Bears, so that's tough for them. And they also spent a lot of money this offseason on the linebackers, and they've been underwhelming thus far, so hopefully they can turn that around. And the secondary is actually a strength early, but now injuries has settled in, and now it's kind of a weakness of their defense. And up front, there's no pressure at all. They're not reestablishing the line of scrimmage, and they can't win their one-on-one matchups. So defensively, they have a lot of breakdowns and a lot of things to overcome over there. They're not taking the ball away, and they also aren't getting off the field on third down. They've been absolutely terrible on third down. And their defense, they've been very disappointing overall in the last two games. So this is going to be a tough challenge for them. Last week, Baker Mayfield, he ran all over them, threw all over them. He was an incredible quarterback, and it's just totally unacceptable because it's Baker Mayfield, and he should not have been lighting them up like that. And also, they're going to play the defending Super Bowl champions this week. So this is going to be a get-back game for Kansas City Chiefs because they've been struggling a little bit, and they're looking at this defense is saying, you know what, it's time for us to get back on track and get to this Super Bowl again. So overall, it's not really good, looking good for them. And I understand why the spread is so high. So my feelings is that Mahomes, he's going to remind us that he is a defending Super Bowl champion, and he's going to try to light this team up every second that he gets. So it's going to be up to the Bears to try to stop this onslaught of pressure that's coming to them. And the Bears, they have not won any games this season. So hopefully they can win one against the Super Bowl champions, and that's a high expectation. You know, the Lions came into Arrowhead and they did it. So who knows? Some things can actually happen their way. So we'll wait and see what happens. The Money Minute. I've known this cat for almost 20 years. I've seen him play wide receiver and DB for the Chicago Bears. He's one of the most athletic teammates that I've ever played with. Rashied Davis, give us your Money Minute.
Okay, week 3, Chicago Bears versus Kansas City Chiefs. This doesn't look to be a good one for the Bears here. They're away. They're playing against the defending Super Bowl champions. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of turmoil going on with Alan Williams, the defensive coordinator, not being there. Don't know officially what's happening, but with having him resign, this puts Eberflus in a tough situation with having to step in and be the new guy, calling plays as well as trying to run the team. I know he has experience, but trying to do it all is a tough task, especially versus the best team in the league. So, unfortunately, I hate to do this, you know, as a former Bear and as a Bear fan, but I'm going to have to go with KC in this one. They're 13-point favorites in this, I believe. I look for them to cover the spread with all the struggles that the Bears are having with the offense, with Justin Fields and the receivers not being on the same page, seemingly the running game not really getting going. Kansas City's defense is playing really well, although, you know, their offense isn't doing what they need to be doing. The Bears defense isn't really clicking on all cylinders right now either. And I think this may end up being a get-back game or get-right game for the Kansas City Chiefs offense. And the Bears just happen to be that team that they get to get right against. So unfortunately, I'm going to take Kansas City. Just to be honest, you know, I say 28-10 is the final score of that game.
All right, guys, to the points. This has been a terrible week at Halas Hall. The media has been all over Justin's comments real hard. The DC resigned. Their starting left tackle is on IR. I just think that it's just too much for the Bears to overcome. 12.5 points is a lot, but I'm taking the Chiefs to cover here. And start Patrick Mahomes on your fantasy football team because I think that he's going to have a big day. And put some change on Mahomes, over 3 touchdowns and over 275 passing yards. Okay, football world, this has been To The Points. Thank you for listening, and make sure you like and subscribe, and also follow Jerry Azuma and Sam Brief on all social media platforms. Until next time.